want to jump right in because we do not have a lot of time today, and USF, there's a lot to talk about, and I'm sure you all have a lot of questions. So my name is Noah. I'm an admissions recruiter advisor for the University of South Florida. I am based on the St. Petersburg campus, but I recruit for all three. I also have my coworker here, Kate, on the line. Kate, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks, Noah. Similar to Noah, I am over on the St. Petersburg campus, recruiting for all three campuses. But I'm just going to be in the chat today answering any questions that you might have throughout the presentation. So just want to let you all know to use the chat space if you have any questions, and I will be answering those. So thank you.
Great, thanks, Kate. So yeah, like she said, any questions throughout the presentation, please throw it in the chat. Make sure to include your chat as viewable by everybody, because I'm sure if you have that question, three others have the same question. So feel free to throw any question in the chat, but we'll jump right in. So like I said, my name is Noah, and we're here to talk about the University of South Florida. So if you all are on your phone or you have this on a laptop, please scan this QR code. It links you to our digital admissions brochure. You can follow along throughout the presentation, and it's just something to take with you after the presentation to make sure you have all of the information. It's steps on how to apply, steps on our three campuses, basically just a nice booklet of everything I'm about to go over. So Kate, if you want to throw the link to this brochure in the chat as well, that would be helpful. But I'll give you a few moments to scan this QR code. Okay. So a little bit of basis about the University of South Florida. I know we're all local here, so I'm sure you already know a lot about USF, but we were founded in 1956. Our mascot is Rocky the Bull, go Bulls. We have over 200 majors and concentrations, anywhere ranging from the College of Business, College of Engineering. We have the College of the Arts with graphic arts, theater, music performance. Some popular majors are biology, biomedical sciences. A lot of students ask me at college fairs about a pre-med track. We do have a pre-med track at USF. Most likely your major will be biomedical sciences. That pre-med track will advise you on how to get to med school later on. We are an institution of around 50,000 students, most of them coming from our Tampa campus, which is our largest. We have our middle child St. Petersburg campus, and then our smallest being Sarasota Manatee down in Sarasota. We're a diverse campus. 41% of USF students identify from being from diverse backgrounds, and we're a Research One institution. So that means that one of our highest priorities is research. That means amazing opportunities for USF students, getting that hands-on experience outside of the classroom that really bolsters your resume for your job search after college. So full disclosure, I was a USF student. Kate was also a USF student. So we are definitely biased here, but there were a lot of really awesome opportunities that we had. When I was a student, I did research with the chair of the psychology department. And then we are actively submitting that to journals around the country to hopefully be published. And a lot of students across all disciplines at USF do the same thing. Every full-time faculty member at USF is required to be active in their field of research, whether it's in the sciences, in English, in graphic arts. They're required to be active in their field. So a little bit about our three campuses. Like I said, Tampa campus is our largest, about 20 minutes outside of downtown Tampa. Then in the middle, we have Sarasota Manatee, the 30 minutes from Siesta Key, which is one of America's most beautiful beaches. They have 35 undergraduate and graduate degrees. And then the St. Petersburg campus, that's where me and Kate are coming from. You are in downtown St. Pete and you're waterfront. We have 79 degrees offered at the St. Petersburg campus. Great thing about the USF system, it is one university that's geographically distributed. So no matter what campus is your home campus, you have access to everything on the other two, whether that be classes, extracurricular activities, clubs, events, USF athletics. We have access to everything. Everything is free for USF students. Whether a Tampa student wants to come to St. Pete to rent out a kayak for free, a Sarasota student wants to go to Tampa to go to a basketball game for free, it's all available because we're all USF Bulls. And like I said before, but for people hopping in now, if you have any questions throughout this presentation, just throw them in the chat. My coworker Kate will be available to answer your questions. Okay, so I want to go over housing and dining at USF. So currently you can live on the Tampa campus and the St. Petersburg campus. I'll go over Sarasota Manatee in a little bit, but we are opening our first residence hall in Sarasota in 2024. This page you see here is for the Tampa campus. You'll see all of our available floor plans where you can have traditional style where you're sharing a room. That's what I like to suggest for first year students. You'll meet people that you never would have met before. You'll meet your best friends. You'll be introduced to new opportunities, new friend groups. It's just a lot of fun, and it's the typical college experience. We also have apartment style where you can have your own bedroom. Typically, those come with a shared kitchen as well. Anybody that lives on campus is required to get a meal plan. At the Tampa campus, there are a ton of dining halls all over campus where you can get really anything you can think of. You could eat cereal for every meal of the day. You could get cheeseburgers and chicken sandwiches and brownies all the time. So when I was in college, I definitely gained some weight because there was some just amazing food available everywhere. So definitely look forward to that. No more just like ramen at night. You have food options available at all times. The St. Petersburg campus, you can live there as well. You can live in a downtown St. Petersburg apartment where you can have a view of Tampa Bay. You can have a view of downtown. We have 3 residence halls on the St. Petersburg campus. Same as Tampa, you will have traditional shared bedrooms and apartment styles with a shared living room and kitchen. Nobody's required to live on campus. So I know probably most of us are local to the Tampa Bay area. If you wanted to commute from home, get an off-campus apartment, you're totally free to do so even as a first-year student. The only requirement is if you do live on campus, we will require you to get a meal plan to ensure that you're eating. There's my favorite view on the St. Petersburg campus in the bottom right. That's where me and Kate eat our lunches almost every day, a view of the sailboats in the water. You get to watch the sailing team go out. All the time there's dolphins and manatees that visit us on the seawall. So it's definitely a great place to live and take classes. And then Sarasota Manatee, we do have our first residence hall opening up in 2024. So we're very excited about that. Same thing, apartment style and traditional. So if you're interested in Sarasota Manatee, definitely check it out. It'll have room for 200 students. First floor will be a student life center and a new USF bookstore. So exciting things on the horizon for USF Sarasota Manatee. Okay, so down to the nitty gritty, the steps to apply. So USF, if you're applying as a freshman, that means you're applying directly after high school. You will still apply as a freshman no matter how many college credits you've earned, whether through dual enrollment, AP, IB, you will still apply as a freshman. Our application is online. You can find us on the Common Application or on our USF website. It does come with a $30 application fee. That fee can be waived if you're on free or reduced lunches in high school, or you are on an SAT or ACT fee waiver. There are a few other ways to waive that application fee. No matter what, talk to your high school guidance counselor. They'll be the ones to help you get that fee waived. You can contact us after that, and then we can waive that fee with the proper documentation. And then we have 2 academic requirements. First being the SAR, or the SSAR. You might see it spelled as a SRAR as well. It's the self-reported student academic record. That is basically your self-reported high school transcript. So no longer are you requesting unofficial transcripts or partial transcripts to be sent to 7 different institutions. and you're tracking all 7 separately and 5 make it and 2 are lost. Now, 11 of the 12 state universities in Florida are on the SAR system. That's where you just will self-report all of your high school grades, basically copy your partial transcript into the SAR portal, and then you link it to all the institutions you want to apply to. So USF is now on the SAR. If you're applying for USF and UF and FGCU all at the same time, we're all on the SAR, so you put it all in at once and then link all 3 of us at the end. Our last application requirement for freshmen is an SAT or ACT test score. We will require one of them. You'll see our school codes at the bottom there. We will super score your SAT or ACT, and we will only look at your highest score. So I recommend taking the test more than once, taking both of them, just to see which one you do better at. And we will only look at your highest score. But that's the whole freshman application. There's no letters of recommendation, there's no essays, no personal statements. It is just strictly your high school grades and a test score. So it's really important, especially if you're a sophomore or junior in the room, focus on those on your grades in high school and start preparing for those tests because it is the majority of your USF application. So here are some dates and deadlines. So if you are a senior in the room, our application deadline was today. So if you have not yet applied, I highly encourage you all to look at the transfer route and then transferring to USF. So maybe going to like HCC, PHSC, SPC first, and then transferring to USF. If you are a junior and below, just take mind of these months because they generally stay the same. Our application typically opens August before your senior year. And you will typically have from August to November to apply if you want to meet our priority application deadline. Meeting our priority deadline means it's your best chance at being admitted to USF, and it guarantees you are considered for your campus of choice. If you apply after November, after our priority deadline, it becomes more competitive to be admitted, and you run the risk of a campus being at capacity and us having to admit you to a different campus. So August to November of your senior year is your perfect window to apply. We also have some scholarship deadlines in January. January 15th is, keep that as your second deadline in your head. If you can't meet the November deadline, January of your senior year, you'll want to apply to be automatically considered for scholarships from my office. The final deadline to apply is typically in March. Today was the final deadline, like I said, for seniors in the room now looking to come next summer or fall. And then the deposit deadline, it's decision day. By May, you'll have to decide whether you want to attend USF and give us your admissions deposit. So if you're a senior in the room and you've already been admitted to USF, congratulations, go Bulls. You have until May 1st to decide whether you want to attend and submit to us your $200 admission deposit. If you're looking to get that deposit waived, please email us at admissions@usf.edu. We will verify your eligibility for an admissions deposit waiver. The eligibility is your EFC in your FAFSA or your expected family contribution has to be $1,500 or less, and we can verify that on our end. Okay, to go over quickly what we're looking at. So like I said, we're looking at your high school GPA. It is a recalculated GPA, so it will not be the same as the GPA on your high school transcript. We are giving you an extra half point for every honors course and an extra full point for every AP, IB, ACE, and dual enrollment course. So say you're taking an AP course and you get an A+, we're treating that as a 5.0 on a 4.0 scale. So it's a weighted GPA and we are doing our separate recalculations. Test scores, like I said, they are super scored. So say you do really great on the math SAT section the first time and you don't do so great on the English, retake it, just focus on the English. You do really great, but now you do so-so on math. We'll take your first high math score, your second high English score, combine them to make your highest super score. So that's just a little idea of what we're looking at when you submit your application. We're recalculating your GPA, we're super scoring your test scores if possible, and only looking at the highest score to make an admissions decision. So these are good numbers to shoot for. These are by no means minimum requirements. This is just mid-ranges. So 50% of admitted students had numbers within these ranges. Like I said, that's the recalculated GPA and super scored test scores. The fall semester is our most competitive, followed by the summer. If you apply for the fall semester and you're not admissible, we will automatically review you for the summer semester. So you don't have to put all of your eggs in one basket. We will automatically review you for summer. We also admit freshmen for the spring. It has lower mid-ranges than summer. So if you're not admissible for summer after that, we will automatically review you for spring. We also have free money scholarships coming from the admissions office. Now, this is specific for seniors now. If you're a junior in the room or below, when you're ready to apply, Google USF admission scholarships, and our updated criteria will show. They typically stay somewhat the same, but every year there's always a slight variation with either the requirements or the amount of money. So definitely just keep in mind the general requirements, but if you're a junior and below, when you're ready to apply, take a look at our scholarship website for accurate requirements for your application cycle. But to be eligible for an admission scholarship, you just have to meet the high school GPA and one of the test scores. You don't have to meet both. Like I said, it's typically the deadline to be automatically considered for these scholarships is January 15th. So you'll want to apply during your senior year, at least before January, to be considered for anywhere from like $8,000 to $16,000 for your 4 years. We also have the Honors College, the Judy Genshaft Honors College on all 3 campuses. Excuse me one second. So the Honors College, it's a separate application. I highly encourage you all to apply. That's where an essay will come into play. You have priority registration in the Honors College, smaller class sizes. You're taking classes to help you become more of a worldly citizen. You're not necessarily taking harder classes. You're just taking classes outside of your major to give you a well-rounded base. When I was a USF student, I was in the Honors College. As a psychology major, they were having me take classes in marine science, in politics. My favorite class was Arabic, literature, culture, and film. So it's a really great opportunity for students to become well-rounded worldly citizens. You also are eligible for additional scholarships just through the Honors College. We have some great accelerated programs through the Honors College just for Honors College students. So if you're looking to go to med school after USF, we have a 7-year accelerated program where you do some years at USF, some years at the Morsani College of Medicine. Added up to 7 years, you have your Bachelor of Science, and you're finished with med school after 7 years. Same with if you're interested in going to law school, we have a 3+3 program with the Stetson College of Law. 3 years at USF, 3 years at Stetson, then you have your bachelor's and your JD after 6 years. That's only for Honors College students. Trying to switch the page here. Oh, there we go. Okay. You can also apply as a transfer student if you're not ready to come to USF after high school. Transfers, we have different requirements based off of how many credits you've completed. I highly recommend if you're looking to transfer, go to a like PHSC and earn your AA. Earning your AA is the easiest way to get to USF. We're no longer looking at anything that happened in high school. No testing, no SAT, ACT, no high school GPA. We're just looking that you earned your AA and you have a 2.0 GPA at that state college. It's never too early to talk to an admissions counselor at USF if you're looking to transfer, so I highly encourage you all. If you're thinking about this pathway to USF, reach out to us at admissions@usf.edu, and then we can help you plan your transfer. So this is what a good estimate will be if you're thinking about what it may cost to attend USF. The top is Florida resident, which I'm sure most of you are by chance. If you're a non-Florida resident, the bottom row applies to you. Now this is for a full year, so an average of 30 credit hours, thinking you're taking 15 in the fall and 15 in the spring. Again, full year for housing as well. Nobody's required to live on campus though, so if you don't want to live on campus, cut that from your estimate. Books and supplies and other, I think those are high numbers. When I was a student, I never spent $1,000 on books. Other, that could be zero for you. You just have to think of random expenses. Like if you're looking to get rent off campus, maybe you need a car or a parking permit. Those are things to factor in. But I just like to take the first number, add in housing if you're thinking about living on campus, and that's a good baseline estimate. Okay, so I highly encourage you all to take a tour of a USF campus, take a tour of multiple USF campuses. We offer tours weekdays at Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Sarasota Manatee. If you can't make it to USF, we have virtual tours available online. But I highly encourage you all to take in-person tours because you really get a feel of what it's like to be a USF student. And here is our contact information. If you have any questions after this, feel free to give us a call or email us at admissions@usf.edu. Scan this QR code if you want to sign up to receive automatic alerts about USF, especially if you're a junior or below, you'll get automatic alerts when our application is open for you. But I know we have around 4 minutes, so I wanted to open it up for some more questions. If anybody is brave enough, you can unmute your mic, raise your hand. I'm not sure if you're able to do that in Zoom, but what kind of questions do we have at the moment? Let me open up the chat here. I will answer, let's see. Celinda, I hope I said your name correctly. She asks, hypothetically, if I was accepted to med school, what program would that be a part of? USF Med School or military med school? If you're talking about like going to med school after your bachelor's degree, you would be at like USF, part of the USF Med School, Morsani College of Medicine. There are plenty of other med school options after your bachelor's degree. Now, if you're talking about at your time at USF during your undergrad, earning your bachelor's, you will be part of the pre-med track, most likely in biomedical sciences as your major, or biology as your major, health sciences as your major. And then they'll help you get to med school, whether it's the Morsani College of Medicine or somewhere else. I hope that answers your question. Who else has any questions? Feel free to drop it in the chat. You can unmute your microphone. Anything about USF?
I have a question about the tours.
Mm-hmm.
I was told that during the summer, tours are not available because no one is on campus. Is that true?
It depends on the campus. I know that like at least in St. Petersburg, we offer summer tours. Tampa campus, I know they're limited availability because most of their students leave for the summer, but you can still check out their calendar. If there are summer tours available, they will be listed in the calendar. If there are no summer tours available, I highly encourage you to do the self-guided tour, where they'll give you an entire list and a map of where to go, where a student-led tour would take you. And it's basically the same thing. So just check out the calendar on our website. If you go to, how I get to it is I just Google USF campus tours. You'll see the calendar of all the availability of tours.
Okay.
But thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure we have time for one more quick question. It's 5:24. Does anybody else have a question? Yeah, I know you all have sessions all the way up until 8. So if you have to run to your next session, please totally feel free to do so. Thank you all for joining us. I hope you learned some new information about USF. I hope we see your application soon. We'll be here. So if you want to stick around and ask questions, please feel free to do so. I do have to get started again at 5:30 for the next group. But yeah, thank you all for joining us, and go Bulls.